Hello and welcome. I am a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support. I am so pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. We're here to support your professional growth in this incredible industry. Now, today we're going to be digging into a really critical skill, how to manage your most important client partnerships, not just when things are great, but through the inevitable challenges of change and crisis. This quote really says it all. Any partnership can look strong when the sun is shining and everything's going according to plan. But the real test, the moment that truly defines the future of that relationship, happens when things go wrong. It's not about avoiding challenges, because you can't. It's about how you respond to them. And that response is what will either build or completely break long-term trust. So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll talk about why a crisis is the ultimate test of any partnership. Then we'll dive into a practical playbook for how you should respond to those external disruptions. After that, we'll look at navigating change that's actually happening inside your client's organization. And we'll wrap it all up by exploring how to build real, enduring resilience into your key account relationships. All right, let's jump into section 1, crisis as a test of partnership. The first thing we all have to get our heads around, especially in hospitality, is that disruption isn't just a possibility, it's pretty much a guarantee. Whether it's economic shifts, operational hiccups, or global events, these challenges are just part of the landscape we work in. And this is such a crucial mindset shift. Think about it. Your key accounts, the partners you've worked with for years, they know things can go wrong. They know systems fail. They are not expecting you to be perfect. What they are expecting, and what they're watching for very closely, is how you handle yourself when that perfection shatters. They expect professionalism. So what does that professionalism actually look like when the pressure is on? Well, it boils down to these core qualities. Your clients need to see that you're still reliable, that you take responsibility instead of making excuses, that you act with integrity, being totally honest about the situation, that you show accountability for finding a fix, and maybe most importantly, that you maintain proactive communication the whole way through. These right here are the absolute pillars of trust. Okay, so let's get practical in section 2. We're going to build an actionable plan. Think of this as your go-to playbook for responding to those external challenges. Things like a system outage, a major service failure, or a global travel disruption, with total clarity and composure. Your communication protocol is everything, and it really just breaks down into 3 simple, non-negotiable steps. First, you acknowledge the problem right away, immediately. Silence is your worst enemy. It just creates anxiety. Second, you explain. Be transparent. Tell them what you know, what you're doing about it, and what the plan is. And third, you update them proactively. Never ever make your client chase you for information. Regular updates show you're in control, even if you don't have the final solution yet. And just look at the contrast here. It's night and day. On the left, every single one of those actions builds trust. Immediate acknowledgement, total transparency. These things create a sense of stability, even in chaos. But on the right, you see the exact opposites: silence, hiding the truth, getting defensive. These things just pour gasoline on the fire. They amplify the client's anxiety and can cause damage that's almost impossible to repair. The path you choose in that first hour changes everything. And beyond any protocol, please always remember you're dealing with people. Behind that corporate account is a human being who is probably under a ton of pressure from their own boss. Acknowledge their concerns. Show some empathy for what they're going through. Your calm, steady composure can be incredibly reassuring. And of course, that has to be backed up by clean, clear coordination with your own internal teams so the client always gets one consistent message. Now let's shift gears for section 3. Because, not all challenges are these big external crises. Sometimes the biggest shifts happen right inside your client's own company. Maybe a new CEO comes on board or there's a merger. These situations call for a slightly different skill: adaptability. So let me paint a picture for you. A very common one. Your key client gets a new CEO, and almost overnight, they roll out a brand new travel policy that directly impacts your business with them. In that moment, what is your number one, absolute first priority? Just take a second to think about what your first move would be. Okay, so what is it? Your first priority is not to defend the old way of doing things. It's to understand the new way. You have to get curious. You need to actively work to understand that new leader's goals and their vision. You have to show that you're an open, flexible partner who's ready to align with them. This is your chance to proactively adapt and prove that you're a problem solver, not just some rigid vendor stuck on an old contract. And that brings us to our final and really most advanced section, building enduring resilience. This is all about leveling up from just reacting to crises to creating a proactive partnership that is so strong it can weather pretty much any storm. This right here is the ultimate goal. You see, true resilience doesn't just happen by accident. It's a deliberate cycle. It starts long before any crisis with preparation, thinking through potential scenarios. Then, when a crisis does hit, you move to response, executing your plan with confidence. Afterwards, and this might be the most important step, comes reflection, an honest look at what worked and what didn't. And finally, you use those lessons to drive improvement, making you even stronger for next time. And the concept that underpins this entire cycle is something we call relationship depth. Think of it like a bank account of trust. You make deposits with every reliable interaction, every open conversation. When a crisis hits, that depth you've built acts as a critical buffer. A purely transactional relationship has no buffer. It's fragile, and it snaps under pressure. But a deep relationship, well, it can bend without breaking. So if there's one thing I want you to take away, it's this powerful shift in perspective. A crisis is not just a threat you have to manage. It's actually a rare and valuable opportunity. It is your chance to step up, to show real leadership, and to prove that you are not just another supplier, but an absolutely indispensable partner in your client's success. So I'll leave you with this final thought. As a future leader in hospitality, you will face these moments of intense pressure. The question isn't if it will happen, but when. And when that moment arrives, how will you choose to see it? As a liability to be feared, or as your single greatest opportunity to